Video Productions, in conjunction with the West Virginia Golf Association, the Berry Hills Country Club, and the Sinclair Broadcast Group, is proud to bring you live streaming final round coverage of this 90th annual West Virginia Open here in Charleston at the Berry Hills Country Club. Delighted to have all of you with us. The National Weather Service has issued excessive heat warnings today, and the National Weather Service feels the heat index could rise to near 110. The golfers today starting at number 10, finishing at 9, and that is the number 9 green there you see. The great professional here at Berry Hills, Barry Evans. Chance today we'll hear from him about some of the holes. And again, our groupings today, our final group featuring the co-leaders, Mason Williams and Ryan Bilby. Will Evans, who sits alone at third, then Todd Duncan, David Bradshaw, Joseph Kolaski. So that third to last group a moment ago, Kenny Hess, former champ, Pat Carter, the great state amateur, and Christian Brand, the defending champ and a three-time winner of this West Virginia Open. Can you go back to 1933, Johnny Javins, the pro at Edgewood Country Club in Charleston, knocking off Rocky Shore, the Bluefield Country Club, in that 18-hole playoff at the Kanawha Country Club in South Charleston, just near this venue. And that was the first ever West Virginia Open. Javins shot a 76 in the playoff, while Shore had an 82. Well, there is Barry Evans caddying today for his son Will, and Will on the green. Will Evans, just an outstanding talent. He emerged as a contender at the 87th Open. Had a bad first day, but boy, did he recover. 78, 71, 65, and Will feels he knows this course. This is the course he grew up on. And now Mason Williams checking it out, but Bilby, the Marshall University golfer out of Follinsby, went to Brook High School. Pointing in the backdrop there, you can just see the beauty of this place. Bilby playing for wonderful coach there at Marshall, Matt Grobe, the son of college football's great coaches, Jim Grobe. So Bilby knocks it through. Great to have all of you with us here. Bilby there. At 13. With the eagle, and there is Williams. So our lead group.
We're going to go to Garrett's camera next, so hold tight. Don't move. Robbie. All right, we're moving from 1 to
So Williams at 10 had a bogey, parred the 11th, and then had a birdie at 12, and then that eagle at 13. So this is Joseph Kolaski. Kolaski in the next to last group. Tied for fourth right now with Carter and Evans. And there is David Bradshaw. What more can you say about that gentleman? On his 12th in 2021 at Pete Dye. Bradshaw, a member of the Hall of Fame at Shepherd, where he played from 2002 to 2005. Inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2015. Three-time All-West Virginia Conference performer and the Player of the Year in 2003. Only Sam Snead has more titles in this tournament than this guy, David Bradshaw. So Bradshaw at -1 had a birdie at 10, a bogey at 11, par number 12, and had a birdie at 13, and then pars 14. Mason Williams teeing off here at number 15. Williams played his college golf at Georgia Southern. He was the 92nd ranked Division I golfer by GolfStat. His college career concluded in Salem, South Carolina. He's now turned pro. So Will Evans now set to tee off here at 15. And you see Father Barry right there, the great pro here and a winner of this tournament. Of course, Barry won the CPC back in 2002, but nothing meant more to him than winning the Open here on his home course. And Will Evans, just a big hitter. So again, Will, par number 10, par 11. Had a bogey at 12, parred the 13th, and then had a double bogey there on 14. So again, that was our lead group of Mason Williams, Ryan Bilby, and Will Evans. Joseph Kolaski now. George Washington High School product. A 2022 Conference USA academic medalist, 3.75 GPA. So Kolaski right here in his backyard, South Charleston, is where he's from. And there's where they'll finish here today at the Berry Hills Country Club. The 9th hole will serve as the 18th hole. Looking at Mason Williams' career and just some of the tournaments he played in. I love that he played in the Schenkel Invitational, named in honor of the great late Chris Schenkel. When you look at this top grouping, and Will Evans, Ryan Bilby, Mason Williams all looking for that first title. Joseph Kolaski, David Bradshaw, Todd Duncan paired up. Of course, Bradshaw with 12. And then you have that third to last group of Kenny Hess, a champ, Pat Carter, the great amateur, and Christian Brand. So after that group, again, Carter, even par, Jonathan Clark, former champ, Cam Rome, Jess Farrell, Clayton Thomas at 1 over starting the day. You had David Scragg, Matt Hoffman, Scragg from Polka, Matt Hoffman from White Sulphur, and Alex Eastham from Ravenswood. Eastham, the 2020 state amateur champ. Kolaski there on the walk. Eastham and a 69 on his opening day and a 74 yesterday. He is now the superintendent at the Green Hills Country Club there near Ravenswood, where he learned to play the game. State champion in 2017 at Ravenswood, led the Devils to a state golf title, and then he went on to West Liberty and just wrapped up his career. He was the 3-time Player of the Year in the Mountain East Conference. So Kolaski with a 71 in his opening round and a 68 yesterday to have him at 1 under coming into this tournament. So Kolaski, par the 10th, the 11th, the 12th. Had an eagle at 13 on the par 5. Had a bogey on 14 and parred the 15th.
Okay. All right, go to camera 4.
1 under at the moment. Christian Brand.
I know, we had a front shot too. What camera's that? Camera 3. Camera 3, you're up. Robbie, you're up.
Check that. Williams out of Bridgeport.
Take camera 2.
Williams beginning his professional career on the G Pro Tour regional platform. Golfers in Virginia and North Carolina. Todd Duncan here now, plays at WVU. Duncan, not just an outstanding golfer during his high school days in which he was a state champ, but also and we just had a beautiful shot. Going back to Duncan, had a double bogey at 10, a bogey at 11. Par 12 and 13 and 14 and 15. See Bilby there in the green shirt, and here is Mason Williams trying to fight his way out of the sand.
CHS. Try to follow that ball that he hits up.
Williams 1 over
Nice.
on par threes. How about this shot out of the sand by Williams and just misses, knocking it through. Wow. What a recovery by the outstanding Mason Williams. Even par on par 4 holes and -1 on par 5s. And just great golfers here in West Virginia. Williams coming in. He played in 2 G Pro Tour events. And a 2-way tie for the Colonial Classic in Thomasville, North Carolina back in June. Shot of 64. All right, now here's Evans. And there's no one that probably knows their way around this course any better than this young guy. Evans trying to fight back from that double bogey there on 14. So Bilby said Marshall was a perfect fit, loves his teammates and coaches, finance major, back-to-back state championships for the Brook Bruins when he was in high school. He was a 3-time Ohio Valley Athletic Conference champion, and he was named the West Virginia Callaway Sportsman of the Year in 2016 and the Player of the Year in 2017. So Bilby, at the moment, the leader. So Bilby, again to recap, had a bogey at 10, parred the par 4 11th. Birdie at 12, an eagle at 13, and now a par at number 14. Here's Williams. And Mason Williams with the nice soft touch there. Again, an excellent group there with Williams, Bilby, and Evans. This is David Bradshaw. 12 times he has won this tournament. So here he is at 16. Bradshaw at -1.
I don't even know who camera 5 is. Who's on the green shirt guy with the blue shorts?
That's a stationary camera.
It's been moving.
Yeah, it's over here today.
All right, going to camera 4. Jason, I'm coming to you right now. Jason, you're up. Don't move.
Okay, so 5 and 6 should be stationary, non-mobile. 1 through 4 are mobile. Off again. Here's
Jason, what hole are we on?
the issue I have. If I give you this one, I have no.
Everybody's talking. I need Jason to tell me what hole he's on. 16.
16.
So Bilby at -7, 2-shot lead over Williams.
Here we can't get Castor to put the cameras on. We've lost 2.
So Williams goes to work here. Bradshaw at -3. Pat Carter, Kolaski tied for 4th at -2.
Not true. Well, I click, I highlight back the other display. Go to display.
Now Barry Evans.
No, I understand, meaning that it's, when you say stationary, it's connected to the wire.
And Will Evans talking it over here on 16. Short par 4, but the green very, very deceptive, according to Barry. Very hard to read.
I'm going to come to camera 1 in a minute. I'll let you
Go back to
know.
display, click that.
So it's a hole you can birdie, but it's also tough. So Will Evans,
Camera 1, what hole are you on?
at the moment, even par.
We have a tell live view 2.
Camera 1, you're up. Mark, they're on 17.
17 here now. With the Kolaski, Bradshaw, Duncan group.
Who has live view 2?
Garrett.
Garrett, we lost your live view. I understand. He's too far away.
So at 17, you're hitting across one of the chasms and about 424 yards. Good hole. Barry Evans said it's a hole that you can lose your golf ball on. But if you hit 2 decent shots, it's one in which you can birdie. There were a lot of qualifiers for this event. Had the club at Crest Creek, John Francisco of Martinsburg, 73, to claim that qualifier.
I'm waiting for them to get on this one right here.
And there was a qualifier at Riverside. Great course there in Mason, not too far from here. Jason King, Alex Easton, Logan Legadich, John Ridenauer, Ben Kunzelman, Noah Mitchell, all shooting an even par 70. See Bilby there,
Shooting on the fairway right now, which is good.
current leader. Sleepy Hollow, which has been home to the State Open. Bilby, the shot on to the green. Jackson Woodburn of Scott Depot at 3 under 69 for that qualifier. And then there was a qualifier at Pipestem. Beautiful Pipestem State Park. Boston Miller of Hurricane. He was 5 under, 67. Boston Miller, 68 and 77 2 days here at the tournament. This is Mason Williams, the Bridgeport native, and tied for the lead coming into today.
All right, Jason, get the next golfer.
Speaking of Bridgeport, the Bridgeport Country Club had Noah Syvertson out of Wheeling. Syvertson finished up -3, a 69. And another one of those qualifiers. Fincastle Country Club on the West Virginia border had the last chance qualifier, and Brian Bailey fired a 72 to earn a trip here. So the Evans duo, Will and Barry, along with Bilby. So again, just those qualifiers, just some of the great events that the West Virginia Golf Association.
I have nobody on 1, 2. Take 6 so Robbie can move. Robbie, you can move.
What's on 5?
Robbie, you can move.
I don't have any.
Again, they will finish up there on hole number 9 today. You know, Bilby at -7, Mason Williams at -5, Bradshaw at 3 under, Carter and Kolaski at 2 under, Kenny Hess, Christian Brand at 1 under, Cam Room, Todd Duncan, and Will Evans even par.
We're not doing any changing.
Ken Evans at even par through 6. And Barry Evans there in the blue shirt walking toward the hole. Barry says, I've never been more excited to host a tournament than I'm not even playing in. A lot of firsts, purse 50% higher than it's ever been before. The golf course absolutely spectacular right now. There is Duncan. Barry Evans said this was always his favorite tournament of the year to play in, just because you got everybody together in one place, all the friends that your buddies that you play with, guys he's been playing with since 1991. So Todd Duncan there, he was not only a state champion golfer, as we mentioned, at Shady Spring High School, but also Duncan, great basketball player for Ronnie Olson. And they had that great team in 2020, likely would have been state champs. Unfortunately, COVID prevented them from playing, actually playing even for a regional championship, but likely they would have been in the state tournament. Did come back the following year. Shady did to win it. Of course, they've had the great battles with Fairmont Senior at the Charleston Coliseum. This is Bilby. Bilby -7 through 6. And Ryan Bilby.
Take camera 4. Jason, we're going to take your camera.
tapping it in there.
All right, take camera 3 again.
Now this is Will Evans.
Robbie, you're up.
And here's Williams.
No, it wasn't, then it went back down. The camera's not like it's.
And Williams drops it in there. Or make that Evans drops it in there, forgive me. And now Williams.
As soon as we're done with this, we're going to go to 1.
A nice shot there by Will Evans.
Nope.
Now Mason Williams.
Now it's back up.
And Mason Williams, Ryan Bilby, and Will Evans. The final group of the day.
Camera 1 with me right now.
So Williams. Now we go to Bradshaw.
Don't move it.
Something's wrong with that camera.
Don't move camera 1. Which camera?
And Bradshaw. Let me come away here with
Camera 6.
number 13. Well, the West Virginia Golf Association, founded in 1913, dedicated to promoting and preserving the game of golf in West Virginia. A privilege to protect and share the rich history of golf in West Virginia through the West Virginia Golf Hall of Fame. And they serve as a central source of information for member clubs and generally represent the United States Golf Association through administering the USGA handicap system and the course slope rating system, conducting qualifying rounds and overseeing amateur status members. With just a lot of great events each year. And the first tee of West Virginia, developing young players through the Callaway Junior Rookie League and Callaway Junior Tour events for boys and girls under 18. Host one-day events and tournaments which highlight the best amateur and professional golfers in the state throughout the season for men, women, juniors, and seniors. And they certainly encourage people of all ages to pursue and benefit from the opportunities for competition, camaraderie, and health offered by the sport of golf. Membership consists of 85 member clubs and over 11,000 individual golfers throughout the state of West Virginia. So we have the grouping of Duncan, Bradshaw, and Kolaski.
Camera 1 is good right now. Okay, stay where you are.
Camera 2 is good as well.
He's only a better shot to the hole.
So Todd Duncan on number 10, a double bogey, a bogey at 11. He parred 12, 13, 14, and 15, had a birdie at 16. So here he is at the par 4 17th. And all the golfers starting at 10 today, and will finish on number 9. In weather, scorching hot today. It's been a hot week here in this area. Started on Wednesday, 63 players in the morning, 65 in the afternoon. So Duncan, Bilby, Boston Miller, Mason Williams, they were all atop the leaderboard after day one with the 68s. And there was a 7-way tie for fifth, a 1 under par 69. Ben Palmer of Parkersburg, Alex Easton of Ravenswood, Jack Michael of Huntington, Sam O'Dell of Hurricane, Farrell of Fairmont, defending champ Christian Brand, and Jonathan Clark, former champ. And see the win there in Bradshaw. Boy, see that hole and just so close for the 12-time champion, who again won the Coca-Cola Shootout for the 5th time earlier this week. Leaderboard here at the 90th Annual West Virginia Open. Great to have you with us as we bring you live streaming coverage. Video productions in conjunction with the West Virginia Golf Association, the Berry Hills Country Club, and the Sinclair Broadcast Group. First ever venture. Happy to have all of you with us for one of the outstanding events in West Virginia golf. And how about Kolaski there, knocking it through. Going to take a break in the action here at the Berry Hills Country Club as you are watching live streaming coverage of the 2023 West Virginia Open here in Charleston. All right, guys, we're getting there. And we welcome you back live inside here at the beautiful Berry Hills Country Club. Great to have all of you with us as we bring you live streaming coverage of the 90th Annual West Virginia Open. Hole number 18 for Todd Duncan, David Bradshaw, Joseph Kolaski. And again, all the golfers today started at 10, so they will be finishing up on number 9 today. A great finish here. Just spectacular weather. Yes, it is warm. Knew that coming in here today. In the National Weather Service issuing excessive heat warnings today. National Weather Service feeling the heat index could rise near 110. And 61 golfers advancing in this third and final round. At 17, you have Evans, Bilby, and Williams. And Bilby on the day at number 10, started out with the bogey. Parred the par 4 11th, the par 3 12th, had the birdie, and then the eagle at the par 5 13th, and then parred number 14 and parred 15. Golfing there in the great northern panhandle. The Calcruth Amateur Golf Tournament at the Trent Jones course at the Spido Golf Club inside Oglebay Park. Bilby parred the first extra hole to hold off Brian Myers, who bogeyed and got that Calcruth Amateur title for the first time. A couple of good friends battled there. Both had carded 139. So Bilby, he struggled in that tournament before kind of turning things around. He had led by 3 shots, and Bilby got it. What a shot there by Bilby. Ryan Bilby. Beautiful job. All right, this is Kolaski. Joseph Kolaski through 7. So Kolaski thus far today at number 10, parred the par 4, also at 11 a par 4. Parred the 12th hole, a par 3. He had the eagle at 13, bogey at 14, and back-to-back pars at 15 and 16, and a birdie at 17. Now the great David Bradshaw. Up there in the eastern panhandle, one of the beautiful parts of West Virginia, historic Harper's Ferry, and playing at Shepherd University. What a storied career this guy has had. So effortless is Bradshaw. And Mason, or Todd Duncan now, set to go to work here. And Duncan chose WVU. Where he chose to play his college golf, participated in the Big 12 championship, Had rounds of 80, 74, 76. Was in WVU's lineup 4 times as a sophomore. As a freshman, played in 8 tournaments. Again, he was a 2-time West Virginia Golf Association Boys Player of the Year in 2019 and 2020. 2-time West Virginia Junior Amateur Champion. Well, the carts and the followers here inside the beautiful Berry Hills Country Club. Great to have all of you with us. Now, the Berry Hills Country Club hosting this event last in 2015. And it was Christian Brand coming away as the champ. Bradshaw finished second. In 2008, it was Barry Evans, and it was Bradshaw, again, the champ. You know, Barry had talked about, how special it was not only to win here, but also just to win in general, because he had suffered through a lot of tough times in the Open. 2001, Jonathan Clark emerged as the champion with the late, great Brad Westfall as the runner-up. And you just look down through the years at places that have hosted. Berry Hills had it back in 1981. That was Matt Cook as the champ. Benny Bowles out of Oceana was the runner-up. Berry Hills in 1957. Sam Snead was the winner. And the late, great Sam Snead, 17 times winning this Open. And right behind him, that gentleman there, David Bradshaw with 12. Bradshaw, just that long frame, just does so many things well. I know Kenny Hess, talked about going up against Bradshaw and just how well he plays the game. Just mentally excels in golf tournaments like this one. And he was at Shepherd, won it in 04. He's played on the Canadian Tour, Great Waterway Classic victory there. All right, so Kolaski. Back to work here. Kolaski at 2 under. Kolaski, as far as pars go here, par 3s, he's at 1 over. Par 4s, he's even par, and par 5s at -2. It's right here in his backyard. He's the third of 6 children. Sister Torm plays on Marshall's women's golf team. Sister Miranda attends WVU Dental School. Jake attends George Washington, and twins Patrick and Peyton Middle School. He won the individual state medalist crown in 2018, member of a state championship team. Great coach in B.J. Calabrese. Here's Duncan. Again from Daniels. And Duncan can't believe it. So now Bradshaw wants to line it up. Well, Bradshaw knew it. As you go back and follow what he's done in this Open, since we started out in still competing at Shepherd and got that first one with Jonathan Clark second, wins at the Edgewood Country Club. Craig Berner was the 2005 champ. Barry Evans was second there at the Raven in Snowshoe. Bradshaw then reeled off 2 in a row at the Resort at Glade Springs and the Lakeview Country Club in Morgantown. Then Barry Evans getting his victory here at Berry Hills. Bradshaw then wins at Oglebay, and then wins another at Sleepy, and then wins one at the Pines Country Club in Morgantown. He won as many as he has, and it's going to be a lot of places. Here is Kolaski. All right. Hannah Klein is with us here today at the beautiful Berry Hills Country Club. She's out on the course, and Hannah, take it away.
Well, Mark, let's talk a little bit about this weather. Excessive heat warnings are passing through parts of the state today. While temperatures keep rising, Berry Hill Country Club is working to tackle this heat and protect some of these players from cramping and heat exhaustion with cool towels, water, and a little bit of shade to get them through this scorching day.
All right, back here now with Will Evans getting set to tee off here at 18. There is Barry Evans. Barry telling us earlier this week as the pro here at Berry Hills, and I'll be honest, I think in 33 years this is the strongest strength of field that he can recall. He says for 30 years you could pick 5 guys with 95% certainty that one of those 5 was going to win. This year he thinks it's deeper than that, about 8 or 10. He's kind of right there. Coming into this day, as Will tees off. Certainly not biased, but Will certainly a guy that a contender coming in. We'll have the great tournament there at Glade a couple of years ago. And the course, good look out there as Williams gets set to tee off. It might be the best that Barry says he's ever seen it. The green's spectacular, fast enough. Could be scary if you get downhill or side hill putts. Barry played Monday in the Pro-Am. Williams with the sweet swing. Well, having had a chance to go to Georgia Southern for football games and just that campus and that area there in Statesboro, a great place to go play college golf. Member of the Sun Belt Conference. Bilby at -8. Mason Williams at 5 under. Kolaski at 3 under. Carter, Brand, and Bradshaw and Evans. 4-way tie for 4th at 1 under. Cam Rome is at 1 over. Kenny Hess and Todd Duncan are tied for 9th at the moment at 2 over. 5 players tied for 11th at 3 over. And some of the great golfers that have wrapped it up today. Cam Jarvis out of Barbersville. One of the amateur. Brian Myers of Wheeling finishes at 8 over. Noah Mitchell of Charleston at 13 over. Corey Dillinger at 16 over out of Morgantown, one of the pros in the tournament. Noah Syvertson of Wheeling at 16 over. The great John Ross at 16 over as well. John Logan Taylor, Drew Call, Solis Kreiner, Tanner Vest, Danny Ackerman, Brian Bailey, Tyler Shamblin, Adam Ware, Christian McKissick, Dylan Carroll, Mike Kiefer, Will Johnson, and Chase Tolliver all finished for the day. So what a thrill, though. It made the cut and competed. So Williams, a little troublesome spot here. So Mason on the day, parred the 10th and the 11th, both par 4s. Had a bogey on the par 3 12th. Had a birdie at 13, a par 5. Parred 14, which is a par 3. Parred number 15, which is a par 4, 16, and 17. So Ryan Bilby -3 on the day and 8 over at the moment, or 8 under. And Will Evans sizing things up. Bilby coming off a birdie at 17. Evans coming off a par at 17. And Evans just short here at the par 3 18th. Watching live streaming coverage of the 2023 West Virginia Open, the 90th annual of this great event, taking place here at the Berry Hills Country Club, one of the premier clubs in the great state of West Virginia. 8 miles southwest of Charleston, a charming, elegant atmosphere. Again, it features 2 hard-true tennis courts, 4 pickleball courts, swimming pool, which is down to our left. We can see it, and boy, does it look refreshing. Here is Bilby at 18. Of course, the Golf Pro Shop here, Wedding Garden, on the lawn of the clubhouse. And that is Duncan in trouble there. Berry Hills Country Club, par 70, length 6,499 yards. Again, built in 1952 by architect William F. Gordon. Mason Williams delivers. Now Bilby in contention to win this thing as an amateur. Right now on top of the leaderboard. Long way to go, but off to a good start here today. And the former Brook Bruin puts it through. So 1936, Sam Snead, a 24-year-old assistant professional at the Greenbrier and White Sulphur, won his first West Virginia Open, which would be one of 17. And now Williams puts it through. So the tournament was reduced from 72 to 54 holes that year in 1936 because rain forced cancellation of the second round. And Snead, well, he'd just keep it going. Wins it in 37, wins it in 38. See Kolaski there. Had the pleasure of doing a few stories on the great Sam Snead. Kolaski. And you see Todd Duncan, the WVU Mountaineer. We saw him earlier in the trouble he was in. There's where his ball wound up. So Duncan, 38. Holes 10 through 18 to start it out here today. Again, all the golfers starting on 10 will finish on 9. And he is grouped with Joseph Kolaski, and what a thrill to be playing with a 12-time winner in David Bradshaw. Again, it all started with Johnny Javins winning this tournament for the first time at the Kanawha Country Club in South Charleston. Bilby the leader, Williams second. And Kolaski there in third with Pat Carter, Christian Brand, Bradshaw, and Evans all tied there as we continue on here at the Berry Hills Country Club. Now this next to last group.
We're going to stick with you for the rest of the putting and table.
You go back and check out all the great events the Golf Association has had throughout the year. Starts back in April with the Tri-State PGA West Virginia Classic. Bradshaw. Great shot by Bradshaw. Had a two-man scramble championship at Woodhaven. Guy and Golf and Country Club hosted that Tri-State PGA West Virginia Classic. Stonehaven had the ladies scramble championship. Junior match play at Edgewood Country Club. The mid-amateur championship at the Williams Country Club. The senior at Sleepy Hollow. Of course, a lot of amateur qualifiers. And then you had the state amateur at the Greenbrier Resort. With Cam Jarvis coming away victorious at 2 under par. Davy Jude was second, and Ryan Bilby was third there at the state amateur. I mean, what a story it'd be if Bilby could win this after coming up just a bit short at the amateur. Jarvis had rounds of 70, 72, 67, and 68 there at the historic Greenbrier Resort. Getting set for some great pros to come in next week on the LIV Tour. Kolaski was 14th at the state amateur, 12 over, had rounds of 75, 76, 69, and 72. Second to last group of Duncan, Bradshaw, and Kolaski. Kolaski and Bradshaw both going with the long sleeves here. You see the wind, but again, very hot. Give that weather report earlier. Just hot and muggy. Bit of a storm chance later today. Bradshaw puts it through. And Duncan ready to finish up here. And going through this Berry Hills Country Club. Number 1, a par 4. Number 2, a par 4. Number 3, a par 3. Number 4, a par 5. 5 is a par 4. 6, a par 4. 7, a par 3. 8 and 9, par 4 and 5. And as Barry Evans told us earlier this week, as he, broke down the course here, A beautiful shot of just how gorgeous this place is here in Charleston. Hole 1, pretty short par 4, but it's also very penal. It's one of 2 greens that kind of has a hump. You can actually knock it over 1 and 2 and still be okay. Or the rest of the golf course, he says you can't do that, but it's a great little golf hole. Says you can make double bogey on, but also a hole in which to birdie. Well, as July winds down, number 2 tee box here. And the number 2 hole, a little bit longer. Very, very good hole, according to Barry Evans. Green tough, and again, it's like number 1 in a lot of ways. Beautiful swing there by Duncan. So Ryan Bilby at 8 over for the tournament, -3. Now through 9. Here is Williams. Mason even through the first 9 holes of play. Again, they teed off on 10, so now 1. So for Williams, number 10, he parred the par 4. And number 11 as well, also a par 4. Had a bogey on number 12, a par 3. And then a birdie at 13, a par 5. And parred 4, 14, 15, and 16. And 17 and 18. And a little strong there. See that wind with the flag. You go back to 1960 and touring pros Arnold Palmer and Art Wall played in the West Virginia Open at the Spring Valley Country Club in Huntington. But it was Sam Snead coming away the winner. The Slammer put together rounds of 64, including 29 on the back 9. It was his 9th title. He still had 8 to go. Won it again the following year at the Riviera Country Club. Had Tutwiler in 1962. What an athlete he was, and he wins it at Sleepy Hollow in rounds of 71 and 67. So Will Evans, Barry Evans. Looking and talking things over. Mason Williams. Surveying what he's dealing with here. Said it hurt not making the national championship there at Georgia Southern. Fell a bit short. But so many things. First team all Sun Belt. The Sun Belt Golfer of the Week. 2022 Ping All-America Honorable Mention, All Region. First team all Sun Belt in 2021-22.
Jason, get close up on the guy that's putting out.
He played in the 2019 Greenbrier Classic.
Gary, your camera has no live view.
Just look back on some of his accolades before ever heading off to Georgia Southern. He was All-State all 4 years, state champ 2015, 2017. Held a West Virginia high school record for lowest 9-hole score of 29. So here's Will Evans. And Will just a little short there. Beautiful day here at Berry Hills as we bring you live streaming coverage of the 2023 West Virginia Open edition number 90. Butch Mounts, our great video productions crew, in conjunction with Sinclair Broadcast Group, the West Virginia Golf Association, and the Berry Hills Country Club, delighted to be bringing you this final round coverage. Bilby is your leader, wearing the Marshall green. Great sports writers, Greg Carey there in the red shirt, covering the action today. And Bilby just shy of the hole.
We're still on camera 4 on the green on 1.
So Bilby taps it in. Par 4, number 1. Evans and Williams still to go. Barry, a West Virginia Golf Hall of Famer. What a guy to learn from. And just as much as he loves the game, he loves watching his son play. What a future for Will, and boy. You know, he's played this course so many times and realizes going to have shots like that. So Barry now steps away. And when they talk about Barry, and Eric Davis of Titleist said he's just the epitome of a pro's pro. Barry grew up in New Jersey, was an All-American college. Again, won the Open here in 2008. His son Will eyes things. Great thing about Barry, just genuinely cares about the person standing in front of him and every interaction he has. That coming from Eric Davis and knowing Barry all these years, I can attest to that. So now Will ready to go to work. Come on. Boy. A tough hole there for Will Evans. And now Williams. And Barry talking about Will. He says he hits it so far more talent than I ever thought of having. And Will says, you know, if you're going to be great at this game, it just starts with instruction. You just got to stay at it. Will played at Marshall. And now the former Georgia Southern Eagle, Mason Williams. Mason punches it through. So off to hole number 2 goes our first group, the lead group. Here is Bradshaw at number 2. So David, birdie at number 10, bogey at number 11, par number 12, birdie at 13, par 14. Par 15 and 16, bogey at 17, a bogey at 18. So 35. 9-hole total. Holes 10 through 18. Again, they start at number 10 here today. Again, today's coverage in conjunction with the West Virginia Golf Association. Founded in 1913, the West Virginia Golf Association is dedicated to promoting and preserving the game of golf in West Virginia. It is their privilege to protect and share the rich history of golf in West Virginia through the West Virginia Golf Hall of Fame. The Golf Association serving as a central source of information for member clubs and generally represent the United States Golf Association through administering the USGA handicap system and course slope rating system, conducting qualifying rounds and overseeing amateur status matters. They introduce elementary school children to golf and safety, core values, and healthy habits through the first tee of West Virginia and develop young players through the Callaway Junior Rookie League and Callaway Junior Tour events for boys and girls under 18. They host one-day events and tournaments which highlight the best amateur and professional golfers in the state throughout the season for men, women, juniors, and seniors, and they encourage people of all ages to pursue and benefit from the opportunities for competition, camaraderie, and health offered by the sport of golf. Membership consists of 85 clubs and over 11,000 individual golfers throughout the state of West Virginia. Just great part of the fabric of sports in the Mountain State, the West Virginia Golf Association. South Charleston's very own Joseph Kolaski now here. So Kolaski through 11 at -3. Talk about Kolaski's day as they are teeing off here on hole number 3 as we go from 10 to 9 today. And Kolaski at number 10 had a par on the par 4 and also a par 4 on the par 4 11th. Par at number 12, a par 3, had the eagle at number 13, a bogey at 14 on the par 3, par 15, the par 4, and also at 16, the par 4, and had a birdie on the par 4 17th, and parred the par 3 18th. Had a bogey at number 1 and a birdie at number 2. So that's the day for Kolaski. So number 3, according to our great friend Barry Evans, one of the best medium length par 3s you'll ever play. The green, very small. For the shot you're hitting in. Ryan Bilby out of Fallensby on top at the moment. 3-shot lead on Williams. Joseph Kolaski is third. Pat Carter, Christian Brand, David Bradshaw, Will Evans. Oh, what a crew there at -1. Corey Hosher, Cam Rome, Jess Farrell, Kenny Hess, all tied for 8 at 2 over par. Can't say enough about the great folks here at Berry Hills and providing the iced tea, the coffee, you name it. Delighted to have all of you with us here on WCHS-TV.com for our final round coverage here of this 90th annual West Virginia Open. Talking about that first ever title, which was won by Johnny Javins. He was the head golf pro at the Kanawha Country Club and a life member of PGA of America. His grandson Kevin played golf at Marshall, turned pro in 1987, was on the Mini Tour Golf and the Ben Hogan Tour. He was the head pro at Sleepy Hollow for a long time, then moved on to the Eagle Chase Golf Club in Marshville, North Carolina, and then was director of instruction at the North Georgia Golf Academy. Certified impact zone instructor. So when you talk about the history of this game and you go back to 1933 and just a young man that learned from a gentleman who won this first ever championship, Kolaski. When you speak of Kanawha Countyans and, of course, Javins, right here in Kanawha County to win that first. And now here's Kolaski out of South Charleston, playing at Marshall and played at GW. David Bradshaw. And Bradshaw just off the mark there. Again, scorcher of a day, and all those here golfing, watching, helping run this great event, taking precautions. The National Weather Service issuing excessive heat warnings today, wherever you are, and National Weather Service feels heat index could rise to near 110 degrees. How about Duncan right there? Beautiful shot. Check out Duncan with the big smile there. Seen him in a few rough patches today, but boy, he's been able to battle out of it. What an athlete. Enjoyed watching that young man. First chance to see him play golf, but saw him play basketball. Now Kolaski goes to work. And now let's head to Hannah Klein out on the course. Hannah?
Well, Mark, a little bit about this weather. Well, XF's heat warnings are passing through the area all day today. While temperatures keep rising, Berry Hill Country Club is working to tackle cramping and heat exhaustion with cool towels, water, and a little bit of shade to get them through this scorching day.
All right, thank you, Hannah. Back to Will Evans now here at number 2. Mentioned early, a little bit longer, very, very good hole from number 1. Green is tough. Our lead group with Bilby, Williams, and Evans. And Will Evans a bit short as this group finishes up. We will take a break here momentarily as you watch live streaming coverage. We'll finish out Evans, Bilby, and Williams. As these golfers now work the front 9. Bilby with the beauty. Staying strong here with that lead. It's the fist bump there from Barry Evans. Now Will Evans knocks it through, and that will do it on hole number 2 for that lead group. And we will return here to the beautiful Berry Hills Country Club in just a moment. You're watching live streaming coverage of the 90th annual West Virginia Open here in Charleston.
4's up. Go, Mark.
I'm back inside here at the Berry Hills Country Club. Great to have you with us as our live streaming coverage of the 90th West Virginia Open Championship rolls along here. Tee time for Mason Williams, Will Evans, and Ryan Bilby. They are at number 3. Our next to last group now working at number 4.
I'm on camera 3.
So Ryan Bilby now at 9 under. A 4-shot lead on Williams. Joseph Kolaski is in sole possession of third at the moment at 3 under through 12. Christian Brand at 2 under through 12. And Pat Carter -1 through 12. This is Will Evans at the moment. Even par, tied with David Bradshaw for 6th place. Bradshaw through 12. And Will with the swing.
We're on camera 3 right now.
So this is our lead group with Williams, Bilby, and Evans. When the day started, Williams and Bilby were tied for first at -5. Bilby has zoomed to 9 under. Williams still at 5 under. Will Evans was in third at 3 under. Right now he's at even par. Day 1, it was Todd Duncan, Bilby, Boston Miller, and Williams all tied for the top spot, each carding a 68.
3 and 4 already teed off. They're near the hole.
So Bilby a 68 on day 1. Round 2, he had a 67. Same for Williams. Kolaski a 71 and a 68. Brand a 69 and a 71. Carter has had a 70 both days. Bradshaw a 71 on Wednesday and then came back with a 67 yesterday. Evans had a 70 on the first day and a 67 to follow. In number 3, one of the best medium-length par 3s you'll ever play, according to Barry Evans.
We lost Jason again. So, Robbie, we're still on you, and we're going to depend on you for this green.
Barry telling us you have to commit to raising $36,000 to host this event, and they actually raised over $90,000. Just the membership here at Berry Hill is just awesome.
3 and 4 is on the
And day 1, 26,000 committed, and he hadn't made a phone call. 33rd year here at the Berry Hills Country Club, and serving as the caddy for his son Will. Set the putt here. Along with Bilby and Williams. And start on Wednesday. Morning wave of 63 players. And the afternoon session 65 as they battle the 90 plus degree weather.
Robbie, we're still on you. Garrett, I think you're frozen. Wave your hand in front of the camera.
Oh, Will Evans. Boy, that looked good. And some tough putts here today for this outstanding young talent.
Hey, when they get ready for the tee box on 5, let me know. We have a
Well, puts it through.
ahead of it.
Well, battling here at the moment. Even par, and now Williams will step up. So Williams certainly within striking distance.
Camera 1. Camera. I need to talk to whoever's on.
Bilby has just talked about how you have to grind as Williams can't get that
4, right?
to drop.
Thank you.
2021 State Open. Bilby was the low junior and Pat Carter the low senior. And again, Bilby earlier this summer on the Trent Jones course at the Spidell Golf Club inside Ogilby Park. Captured the Calcruth Amateur Tournament. And here he is right now leading the prestigious State Open.
Tee box right now. Okay, thank you. I'm just trying to see where you
Bilby
You're fine. You're okay.
just missing for the birdie. So he'll stay put at 9 under
I'm going to go to camera 2.
through
Hold on 1 second.
12 holes here.
We're on camera 2 on the 4th hole.
Here's Todd Duncan.
We're on you, Garrett, right now.
We saw Duncan with that beautiful putt earlier. He's had to fight it here today at times, but it seems to recover. Duncan
Back on camera.
at the moment tied for 10th with Corey Hosher and Kenny Hess. Kolaski. And Kolaski still in third.
I'm on camera 2. I'm going to get camera 1 in just a second after he hits it. I'm still on camera 2 because I can't find that hole. Oh. I'm on camera 1 right now.
Kolaski made his collegiate debut at Eastern Kentucky's Fall Intercollegiate Tournament and totaled 6 birdies
Still on camera 1. I'm going to hold on camera 1.
during that event. 72, 72, and 76.
They're making their way that way because that's the only one I have.
The carts maneuvering here at beautiful Berry Hills.
Still on camera 1. That's good. Good zoom.
Kolaski, a Conference USA academic medalist. Grade point average of 3.75. David Bradshaw now.
Oh, why did that go down? Can you take some water out on the course for the guys?
And is talking to Bradshaw through the years.
I'm gonna take care of
You know, you win and you win and you win. But as all will tell you, you never know when it's going to end. And you cherish each and every one. So he got that 12th in 2021. So came in here hoping that maybe 13 could be there for the taking. So close a year ago, as we see Mason Williams tee off here.
Hey, Butch. Where's the water?
Here at number 4, according to Barry Evans, for a very gettable par 5. It's reachable in 2, but it's also a hole you can lose a ball. Also a hole where if you miss the greens on 4 and 2, leave yourself a very difficult up and down. So Will Evans with his tee shot. So Evans here on the back 9, double bogey at number 1, and he parred the par 4 second and the par 3 third. Bilby, our leader, and you just want to make quick work and just keep the round going, get that momentum going. We talked about Bradshaw getting for that 13th, and a year ago he loses by 3 shots to Christian Brand. Brand was at -10. Bradshaw was at -7. Thad O'Beckney was at -3 for third place. So Ryan Bilby, again, you saw the leaderboard there. Beautiful shot of Berry Hills and this wonderful, wonderful facility. Have Duncan, Kolaski, and Williams. We'll make that Duncan, Bradshaw, and Kolaski here in this group. Williams, Bilby, and Evans. Kolaski trying to stay in contention here. Got a long way to go, but one never knows. Just you keep playing. He and his Marshall teammate Bilby. Beautiful shot there by Kolaski. Well, Bilby, who is leading the way, competed in 10 of 11 events for Marshall in his freshman season. Third on the team with stroke average of 74. Here's Bradshaw. At the moment tied with Evans for 6th. Todd Duncan. Again, what a thrill to play in that Big 12 Conference Tournament Championship. Duncan.
Hey, Mark, I'm going to take camera 2. They're all looking for the leader's ball.
At the moment, Ryan Bilby in search of his ball.
they done? All right, we're going to go to break. Stand by for break.
All right, so as they make the search there, we break away here at the beautiful Berry Hills Country Club. You're watching live streaming coverage of the 90th annual West Virginia Open here in Charleston. A beautiful view of number 9 here at the Berry Hills Country Club as our live streaming coverage of the 2023 West Virginia Open Championship rolls along here. Great to have you with us on WCHS-TV.com, video productions in conjunction with the Sinclair Broadcast Group, the West Virginia Golf Association, and the Berry Hills Country Club. Bringing you live streaming coverage of this wonderful event now in its 90th year. Cannot say enough about the great hospitality here at Berry Hills. Brandy Thomas, the general manager, and, of course, Barry Evans, the pro and director of golf here. All the great folks that are a part of this wonderful venue. And this is the place to be for so much. Planning a party, business meeting, special event. They are committed to making it the very best. Banquet facility here can accommodate up to 250 for dinner, 450 guests for cocktail and hors d'oeuvres. Just great locker room facilities, and the golf, the tennis, the swimming, the running, the pickleball. Just a spectacular place year-round, and certainly during this week as it plays host to this great tournament once again. And again, this is an event that has, made its way to several venues down through the years. We spoke of the Kanawha Country Club in South Charleston, where it all started back in 1933 with Johnny Javins, and then it was at Elm Grove there in the northern panhandle, Clarksburg, Huntington, Charleston again, Elm Grove again, Bluefield. The Greenbrier hosted for the first time in 1941. The old Meadowbrook Recreation Club hosted this tournament here in Charleston back in 1942. Black Knight Country Club in Beckley was a host in 43. It was in Kingwood. It was at the Greenbrier Valley Country Club in Lewisburg. Moundsville a host. Oak Hills, White Oak Country Club, Ed Tutwiler winning there in 51. Parkersburg Country Club for the first time in 53. Riviera for the first time in 61 with Sam Snead winning it there. Parmar Pines of Parkersburg in 1964, an old course. South Hills in Parkersburg. 1970, Sandy Bray up in Amma was a host of this tournament. Bridgeport Country Club for the first time in 73. Canaan in 1975. Barney Thompson, who certainly had a great run on the PGA Tour. And Barney came back, won it again in 78. Benny Bowles in 79 was a winner. Fincastle Country Club was host in 1980. And Berry Hills in 81 with Benny Bowles winning it. Again, Ryan Bilby, the Follinsby native, Mason Williams, Joseph Kolaski, Christian Brand, -9, -5, 3 under, and 2 under respectively. Pat Carter, David Bradshaw tied for 5th, even par. Cam Rome, Jess Farrell, Will Evans, all tied for 7th. Three-way tie for 10th. Corey Hosher, Scott Depot, and 2 former champs, Jonathan Clark and Kenny Hess. 1994, Ogilvy Park hosted this event. The late Brad Westfall, of course, Brad, a winner of this event 5 times. Great Harold Payne in 86, 87, and 88, all as an amateur, the Hall of Famer. Harold would get another title in 93. You look there at hole number 9 as Benny finished. Look and see some of the golfers who have wrapped up rounds today. Brian Myers. Things were to finish right now. The Wheeling native placing 26th as he 3-day total of 8 over. Here's Williams. Mason Williams. Sharing a lead both days, but right now trailing Ryan Bilby. So through 12.
Can you go ahead and move to the next tee box so we can at least be ready with
Bilby at -9. Front 9, he was 1 under. At the moment, 3 under here. So 4 under for the day. So Mason Williams. Well, there is a refreshing look at the pool, which is just down to our left. Popular day to be there. Will Evans comes up a bit short on his putt there. Now Bilby. Williams even on the front, even on the back, and even for the day. Holding down second at the moment.
All right, I'm going to take camera 4 since you're there. Hold tight. Stay there. I'm taking camera 4 is up.
Ryan Bilby here at number 4. Very gettable par 5 according to Barry Evans. And Bilby does it again.
Robbie, you're up.
What a tournament and certainly final round this young man is having.
That's what's a lot of times happens because he's getting so far away from it. When they catch up, they're not getting it.
So Mason Williams.
Robbie, I'm still on you. Did Mark Allen just text you, Mark? He wants to know if you've done any spots. I'm like, I don't know right now. I haven't listened.
Oh, we got two. We got two again. Yeah.
Side the Berry Hills Country Club. We will come back in just a moment where you're watching live streaming coverage of the 2023 West Virginia Open.
Box, so steady it out, Jason. Never mind, I'm coming back on camera 1. Ready? Cue Mark.
Joseph Kolaski, David Bradshaw, Todd Duncan, next to last group. We'll come back here to Our live streaming coverage of the 90th Annual West Virginia Open Championship from the Berry Hills Country Club, being presented by WVU Medicine. Mark Martin and our great crew. Happy to have you with us. Hannah Klein, David Bradshaw.
Coming to camera 4. Camera 4, you're up.
Tapping it in. And now Will Evans. Who is at 1 over.
Jason, what tee are we on? Is this 4 or 5? We're on 5. This is 5.
You want to lead into it? Got it. It's right.
Ready?
Go ahead.
Yes.
Hit it.
We're going to do something 1 into 5. So
Number 5 is the longest par 4 in the course. I mean, for the young guys nowadays, it's not that long. For an old guy like me, it's long. But it was ranked the number 1 hole in West Virginia about 15, 20 years ago.
we're here in a minute when we come out of this.
Okay, that's it. Cut out. Okay.
Garrett, I'm on camera 2. That's frozen.
It's not a real
It's
shot.
a video. It's a video.
Pick one.
What is that? 1.
Ryan Bilby of Follinsby, your leader. Mason Williams, second.
Now, camera 1.
Joseph Kolaski, third. Bilby at 9 under. Williams at 6 under. And Kolaski at 3 under. Christian Brand is in fourth at -2, the defending champ.
I got the other 3 right now.
3's on. 4 is not on. I'm on camera 6 right now.
Two's on the stationary view of the fairway.
4 isn't. 4 is off live view.
4's off live view. 3's off live view. Oh, never mind. Robbie, you're good. I'm sorry. So I'm still on camera 6. All right, I'm going to camera 1. They're on hole 6.
Chris? Yeah. Like we're trying to add something.
Todd Duncan,
2 steps back. That was good. Actually, it sounded like video, something. It's like
young man at the moment tied for fourth. 4 over.
there's nothing on.
Garrett, I'm on you right now.
Go 6.
I see that.
Go 6.
I mean, it's actually not a bad shot if you move it with everybody.
Three's up.
I'm on camera 5.
I got to bring 4 back up. This is 4. Got 4 back. He's not doing anything.
Robbie, I'm taking your camera.
He's down.
You're up.
That's probably where that cell signal dropped too.
We should have all 4 cameras back, right? Yes. Oh, no. There goes the.
Blatant, because that's a bad accelerator.
One has been probably the entire day.
Right.
That stays. That one that stays.
Robbie, I'm still on you.
Transmission feed. That transmission.
Jason, I'm coming to your camera right now.
Packs on that one.
Jason, you're up.
Will Evans. Back to work here now.
Oh, Lord.
Well, spent a lot of time in Florida at the fifth hole here.
Hey, Mark, if you want to toss to Anna, she's got some killer stuff.
And, of course, they are playing the back nine. And we'll finish at number 9. Hannah Klein with us. Hannah, take it away.
Well, the West Virginia Open is administered by the West Virginia Golf Association. It has been played annually since 1933. Last time it was played at the Berry Hill Country Club was back in 2015. But let's talk a little bit about some services out here. It includes tennis courts, 4 pickleball courts, swimming pools, and a golf pro shop. Mark, I'll go ahead and send it back to you.
In number 5, the longest par 4 on the course for the young guys. Nowadays, according to Barry Evans, not that long. It was ranked the number 1 hole in West Virginia about 15 to 20 years ago, according to Barry Evans. Some of our great sponsors, WVU Medicine, Kolaski Orthodontics, PSI Med, Sears Monuments, Fife Street Brewing, Ace Pipeline, Dutch Miller, United Bank. Bilby, the leader. Great shot at what he's looking at here. And just trying to keep this great round and this great tournament going.
Whenever we reach 6, we can do the whole again. I think we're on 6. Are we on 6 now?
They're on 6. They're on 5.
Yeah. So we can do
Jason,
7.
I'm coming to you.
I'll do 7.
Bilby, I think.
So this is Evans
Jason, I'm on you right now.
in that last group. Williams, Bilby, Evans, Duncan, Bradshaw, Kolaski.
That was pretty good.
Well, Davy Jude out of Kermit. 3 over for the tournament, 13th at the moment. He's in the clubhouse. Cameron Jarvis, again, the Barboursville native that captured victory at the state amateur earlier this summer. Tied for 21st at the moment, though tied with guys still on the course like Mitch Hoppin, Brian Anania, David Scragg, Matt Hoppin, and we mentioned Brian Myers at 8 over par. Phil Reel, former amateur champ, has finished 10 over for the day. Thad Beckney the second, and Tad Tomlin both at 11 over. Here's Mason Williams. And Williams, goodness. All right, Will Evans now going to line it up. Well, the third to last group with Pat Carter, Kenny Hess, Christian Brand. Brand has emerged to fourth. Nice putt by Will Evans.
Taking camera 3.
And he's been waiting on that today.
Camera 3, you're up, Robbie.
Now, Bilby on the back nine, par number 1, a birdie at number 2, par number 3, and a par at number 5.
Seconds, so hold that shot where you're at.
So we mentioned Hess, Carter, and Brand. So Brand at 4th, Carter tie with Bradshaw for 5th.
Robbie, you're clear for now.
Hess at the moment. Four-way tie for 8th. Here's your leader, Ryan Bilby. Brooke High School and Marshall University.
You're still up.
Here's
Do the ads.
I do the upper right maybe.
We'll do our ads first on that one. And then do maybe number 2.
Bilby. Keeps it going here. Sigh of relief for the young man from the northern panhandle in the great state of West Virginia.
All right, I'm taking camera 6. All right, we're going to take a break. Can you put that your board up?
Well, we got to refresh it.
Can you take that graphic down? And we're going to go to break. Just go ahead and take the. Just go ahead.
You're watching live streaming coverage of the 2023 West Virginia Open from the Berry Hills Country Club.
All right. You're up. Mark Hughes.
Joseph Kolaski with the chip. Great to have you with us here on WCHS-TV.com. Great sponsors, WVU Medicine, Kolaski Orthodontics, PSI Med, Sears Monuments, 5th Street Brewery, Ace Pipeline, Valley West Veterinarian, Nagy and Madrestro, Dutch Miller, United Bank, Cavcon,
Okay, so they haven't moved to 7 yet.
and Carl Oncaglione, Junior Law.
Until these guys are off. Okay,
So you have Todd Duncan, David Bradshaw,
Cade, you tell me if you're on T-Box 7. I know, but he's there. I'm asking, and he's not.
Joseph Kolaski,
Okay, cool. Thank
Bilby at 9 under. Ryan Bilby from Follinsby.
you. Just stay on the T-Box, then one of you do.
Mason Williams in second. 6 under. Christian Brand and Joseph Kolaski tied for third. Duncan. So Duncan at the moment tied for 16th. Bradshaw tied for 7th. We got a group of Jonathan Clark, Jess Farrell, Kenny Hess, David Bradshaw, Will Evans, Clark, Hess, and this guy. They have a beautiful shot by the 12-time champ. The group there tied for 7th, and a lot of championships, most by that guy, David Bradshaw.
All right, I'm going to the T. I'm going to camera 4, Jason.
We ready to? Wait, we can't. He's not. Yeah, tell him we're gonna.
Jason, you're up.
Number 7 is about a 207 yard par 3. It's very, very good hole.
And Barry Evans, really brief with that hole number 7 to script. Par 3, just a very, very good hole.
Yeah, but it's like moving around. It's so short. But yes, I do still have.
Pretty, really appreciate Barry and all he does for this great, great golf course here in the capital city of Charleston. Mason Williams.
Wait, so we're on 6 right now? Like Jason's on 6?
How hard is it? It's frozen. Oh no, you got it.
Robbie's frozen.
Okay. Is that 3?
Will Evans will be next here.
We have no live view on 2. We have.
Just the data on these guys and just how outstanding they have been in their young careers. Will Evans, again, he emerged as a contender at the 87th Open. Had that tough first day, 78, but then really bared down, 71, 65. You know, you got to play 36 holes a day and just really get after it, and that's what he did during COVID.
He's refreshing it now.
Right now, Will in that tie for 7th. 5-way tie at 1 over. And the big swing here on the par 3 7th. Again, as you heard Barry say, just very short hole. Him on number 8, par 4, one of the smallest greens.
I'm taking camera 2. We got
That's
camera
what
2, and this is
Kolaski
7.
and this next to last group will be dealing with. Bradshaw, there is Kolaski, Todd Duncan
They're still waiting on the green. They're waiting on the green mark for 7.
in number 4,
I'm on
or
camera 1. This is
par 4, number 8.
and stuff.
Again, as Barry telling us, very small green, birdie hole, but also one like so many that can cause guys fits. Get a great view there of this wonderful venue here, the Berry Hills Country Club.
Camera 3. You're
Delighted to be with all of you here on WCHS-TV.com. Been with you since noon today. And tournament got started on Wednesday, and
Ooh, Robbie, that almost hit you.
we had Todd Duncan, Ryan Bilby, Boston Miller, and Mason Williams tied for first at the end of the day, each carding a 68. And then Williams and Bilby emerged after day 2, each shooting a 67. Will Evans fired a 67.
Jason's moving, so I don't have anything come in, but I have Robbie. Oh, yeah, take the liquor board.
It's a par 70, the length 6,499 yards, built in 1952. Architect William Gordon, home to a true shot maker's course, featuring a rolling layout and 3-line fairways, always in pristine condition. Kolaski, Bradshaw, Duncan awaiting the opportunity to tee off. Again, this event being put on by the West Virginia Golf Association. Founded in 1913, the West Virginia Golf Association, dedicated to promoting and preserving the game of golf in West Virginia. It is their privilege to protect and share the rich history of golf in West Virginia through the West Virginia Golf Hall of Fame. Serve a central source of information for member clubs and generally represent the United States Golf Association through administering the USGA handicap system and course slope rating system, conducting qualifying rounds, and overseeing amateur status matters. They introduce elementary school children to golf and safety, core values, and healthy habits through the first tee of West Virginia, and develop young players through the Callaway Junior Rookie League and Callaway Junior Tour events for boys and girls under 18. They host one-day events and tournaments which highlight the best amateurs and professionals in the state throughout the season for men, women, juniors, and seniors. They encourage people of all ages to pursue and benefit from the opportunities for competition, camaraderie, and health offered by the sport of golf. Membership consists of 85 member clubs and over 11,000 individual golfers throughout the state of West Virginia. Saw the shot there by Mason Williams, the Bridgeport native, former Georgia Southern standout, turning pro in this event featuring pros and amateurs. And just that plethora of greats down through the years. And again, Sam Snead, one of the best ever as a professional, and of course representing the Greenbrier for many years, and 17 titles. David Bradshaw next in line with 12. And I just love looking back through all these that have captured crowns here. Scott Davis, one of those great golfers. And speaking of great golfers from Marshall, how about Bilby, trying to become yet another former Thundering Herd golfer to win here in the West Virginia Open. Bilby at 9 under through 14. David Bradshaw with the tee shot. And Bradshaw not happy there with that approach. And now Kolaski. And Kolaski, right now, former GW golfer and Marshall golfer, and tied with former Capitol High and Marshall golfer Christian Brand, last year's champ. Multiple championships by the great Christian Brand. Young Joseph Kolaski goes to work. He kind of dropped his club like Bradshaw did. When Kolaski teed off on Wednesday at number 10, Barry Evans said, watch out for him. And, well, here he is, tied for third. Duncan. It's not been the day this young man from Daniels had hoped. WVU golfer, but going to hear his name a lot as the years move along. Already made a name for himself in golf in the great state of West Virginia. But by Williams, so Mason Williams, on this back nine, number one, he parred the par four as he did on the par four second, and the par 3 third. Had a birdie on the par 5 fourth, and parred at number 5, a par 4. Bilby, -1 on the front 9, -3 on the back, and -4 for the day. -9 for the tournament. Par 3s, he's at 1 under. Par 4s, 1 under. And par 5s, 2 under. It's been a big summer for Bilby. Won that Calcruth Amateur Tournament there in Wheeling. And once more, Bilby sinks it.
Garrett's on 7. They're on 7. They're on 6. 7. No, this is a 7 green. This is 6. All right, Kate, I'm coming to you.
Yeah, Bilby knows a long way to go, but boy, with just each hole,
Once Garrett goes to 8, we can do another video.
you feel good, but yet the pressure mounts.
Yeah, Garrett's going to 8. Then when they get done with this, when they get done with this straight, then we can do as soon as Garrett gets set up, I'm going to take these people with this ball.
And when you think
Hold tight, Garrett. I'm coming to you right now.
search is on for a ball. So Bradshaw, the last amateur to win this tournament, and that came in 2004. That was his first of 12. So Bradshaw winning it in 2004, 06, and 07, 09, 10, 11, 13, and then 16, 17, 18, and 19, and then back as the champ in 2021. So really the only two that have slowed Bradshaw down since 2016 have been Christian Brand and Hess.
Yeah, but he's not going to be shooting because this is going to be the same place.
And a string of 6 from 2013 to 2022. And they were fortunate during the COVID year. They were able to play the tournament there at the resort at Glade Springs, and Hess was the winner. So Bradshaw won it in 2013. He'd won it 3 in a row there from 2009 to 2011. Jonathan Clark got that victory at Edgewood. And, of course, that was Jonathan's second, his first coming here at Berry Hills.
Hey, Mark, just to let you know, Butch said there may be a weather delay. He's hearing thunder, and they think weather may be coming in. So if we do that, they're going to put Jack's camera on 9 under the tent, and we're going to go to we'll just go to a weather delay.
Being told we could be enduring a weather delay here at the Open. Of course, the day started, and one of the things we touched upon early on was the National Weather Service issuing that excessive heat warning, and felt the heat index could rise to near 110, but was that threat of some storms late in the day. So they continue search there. A year ago, Christian Brand winning in 10 under par David Bradshaw, you see him there in the blue shirt. Finished at -7. Thad Beckney was at 3 under. Nick Fleming and Sam Odell. Odell, great amateur champ. Brian Anania in the top 10 a year ago. Kenny Hess finished at 4 over last year. Ryan Bilby is our leader at 9 under par. Next big event for the West Virginia Golf Association will be the Women's Senior Amateur. And that will begin on Monday. It will be played Monday and Tuesday at Canaan Valley. The Mixed Format Championship will be in late August, August 26th and 27th at Cacapen Resort there in the Eastern Panhandle. The Raven at Snowshoe will host the 4-ball Match Play Championship September 8th through the 10th. The Senior 4-ball Championship will be at Stonewall Resort September 18th and 19th, and the Club Team Championship will be at the Riverside Golf Club there in Mason along the banks of the beautiful Ohio River. Todd Duncan on the green. Let's head to Hannah Klein out on the course today. Hannah, take it away.
Well, all week, spectators have been flocking to the course free of charge and to watch some of the state's best golfers compete in some pretty challenging conditions. Well, I spoke to some of these spectators who packed their coolers to head over to the 3-day event and told me, well, they wouldn't miss it for the world.
Well, just a great sporting event, and spectators out here enjoying it, trying to stay cool. Kolaski. And he'll tap it in. Duncan now goes to work. Todd Duncan. On this back nine. Had a bogey, parred. Had a birdie at 3. Double bogey at 4 and another bogey at 5, parred number 6. Bradshaw now. And the 12-time champ just short. And Todd Duncan, one of many outstanding players that have come through that Shady Spring basketball program the past few years. And, I mean, just one of the most beautiful three-point shots you'll ever see. And just a weapon on a team that featured a lot of great players. Of course, the Chapman twins, Cole and Braden. And those guys played a lot of basketball and had a lot of success. So Ryan Bilby on the back nine. Par number 1, the par 4. Birdie on the par 4 second hole. Par number 3, a par 3. Had a par on number 4, a par 5, and parred the par 4 number 5, and also the par 4 number 6. So par 3 here at number 7. in just this short hole. 207 yards. Barry Evans says just a very, very good hole. Mason Williams. Well, what a shot by Williams as it skates past the hole. So Williams on the back nine. Trying to stay close here. Will Evans tied with Bradshaw for fifth at the moment. Will, that double bogey at number one, parred the par four number two, the par three number three had a par, also parred at number four, which is a par five. Parred number five, a par four, and then had a birdie. Much needed birdie at the par four, number six. Other than his father, nobody probably knows this course any better than does Will Evans. So Bilby, let's see what is in store for our leader here at number 7. So Bilby had a par, a birdie, another par. In fact, he has parred every hole on his back nine, had the birdie at number 2. Comes up a little short here on the par 3. I believe we have just heard the horns. And
that's frozen.
that may mean that we are going to have a stoppage in play here at the Berry Hills Country Club. We'll break away here.
Yeah, I mean, I have up what we're going to, I think that's what he wanted to stay on. But she wanted me to stay on.
Our live streaming coverage of this 2023 90th Annual West Virginia State Open Championship will roll on. Watching it live here on WCHS-TV.com. All right, we're back live here inside the Berry Hills Country Club, and we are in a weather delay here in this 90th annual West Virginia Open. Ryan Bilby is the leader out of Follinsby with Mason Williams second at the moment. So unfortunate, kind of nice pace moving along here, and then suddenly on what's been a very hot day for this tournament, and now a stoppage in play.
He's a board member.
And now you can tell everybody all day how to play these games. Right. We can interview with you too.
So Ryan Bilby, we will update that young man real quick before we break away here and in our delay. So at the moment, Bilby is at number 7 along with the group he's playing with, Mason Williams and Will Evans. Billy's had a nice round here today. He's at -4 for the day, and on this back 9,
yeah, I know.
he has parred each hole but one, and he had a birdie there on the par 4, number 2. So a weather delay here inside the beautiful Berry Hills Country Club. Our live streaming coverage will continue here from the Berry Hills Country Club momentarily. Ryan Bilby in the lead, trying to capture a championship here at the Open, becoming the first amateur to do so since David Bradshaw back in 2004. We're back to the Berry Hills Country Club momentarily.
Until 5:30.